What's good, everybody? It's Batman. We're doing another banger reaction video. There's like, I've been so excited to react to this video. It's basically the two goats, Thunder God and Swag Kage. If there's any YouTubers in the face of the planet that cover Naruto, that are the most humble, most behaved, and no drama, no bullshit, no nothing, just straight to business and just great morally people all around, it would dead ass be the reward would go to Thunder God and Swag Kage. I'm not even joking. And if I was really nitpicking, Thunder God would actually be in first place. Like, it's absolutely crazy. You know what I mean? Thunder God and Swag Kage are probably the most lovable, like, great content creators I've ever seen ever, and just have so much positivity and just no negative or no nothing, and just straight into the love and passion for AKA Naruto. So I'm really excited, and I've been waiting for this for the longest, because if anyone deserved, to basically do a collab with Swag Kage, you name it, Thunder God is one of them. Another thing we'll be goated to see is Naruto explained in Swag Kage. That would also be goated. You know what I mean? But, and that basically is all I ever asked for my dream come true. But overall, this is going to be really exciting. I'm excited. It's an hour long, so this is definitely going to take some parts as well. Hopefully not too many parts, but I'm really excited. And we're going to get into the video. And as you guys already know the vibes, let's get into it. I'm excited. Let's do it. I'm over here fucking up. The title of the video is What If Each Getting Squad Fought Zabuza and Haku? And that's what we're getting into. It's really interesting because I don't know how this turned out to an hour-long video, but we're just going to continue to analyze it and see what happens. So let's get it.
What's going on, guys? TG or Thunder God here, and I have probably the most special guest on the channel today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Swag Kage here.
Yes, and today we have an excellent video for you guys. Today we are.
Well, you can just hear in Thunder God's tone, and like he's just so excited and so thankful because he knows this is gonna help him in the long haul too. Like, you know what I mean, to help with subscribers, blah blah. Like, you could just feel it, bro. He's like, yes. I don't blame him. Who wouldn't with Swag Kage,
Kind of swapping around some characters at a certain point in the story. We're going to be replacing Kakashi's squad that took on Zabuza on top of the bridge and Haku with other Genin and Jonin squadrons in the Hidden Leaf, that being Team Guy, Team Asuma, Team Kurenai, with some bonus rounds at the end that you guys will see, potentially squads from other villages. So with that being said, make sure to check me out. You've already seen this guy. You don't need to click on play. Yeah. You check out Swag Kage if you haven't. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So starting. Oh yeah, my bad.
I thought you were passing it to me. You guys.
It says chefs both try to cook at the same time.
So the first team we're gonna start with.
I gotta hear that again. I gotta hear that again.
Let's get into the video. So starting.
My bad. I thought you were passing it to me. You guys.
No, you got that.
So the first team we're going to start with is Team Guy. This is the most straightforward one here. And so this one is probably the easiest one to talk about and break apart, because I don't think any of you need us to tell you that Guy is beating Zabuza.
Yeah.
He might not even need to open the gates.
No, he's bullying Zabuza's shit. He won't even need to open the gates either. You know what I mean? It's overkill. Swag Kage is already just spitting fucking facts. And the reason why is because the Kakashi that we see here is Rusty Kakashi. He's not like the prime Kakashi yet. He doesn't get to that until like after he's training, after like kind of getting a hard lesson from Kabuto and being bullied by Orochimaru. And he starts training, and even like admits like his body is really weak, whatever, blah yada yada. You know what I mean? So like the fact that Zabuza is struggling with this Kakashi, Guy is just stated verbatim, flat out, that he's faster than Kakashi, even base to base. You know what I mean? With a Sharingan, you name it, etc. So, like, yeah, Guy is bullying him to oblivion. He's going to get the fucking hands. If he isn't even the nunchuck, he's fucked. Like, yeah, it's a stated verbatim, Guy is faster and stronger. Sasuke even believed it and said it. Sasuke has seen Kakashi in a life and death battle with 3-tomo Sharingan. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's that simple. Absolutely. Swag is already spitting.
To do it like handily. If he opens any of the gates, like the first, God forbid, the third or above, like up to, it's typically up to like the 6th gate that like the games and stuff from the part 1 time period give him. So I think you could safely assume that he could at least open the 6th gate here. But even if you
one thing to add for that for Swag, I didn't actually know that. So W on that. So apparently in the games he has 6 gate bare minimum. But in anime only, let's say you don't even want to count the games, in the anime, which is during the arc of like when Itachi and Kakashi are in the Anbu, and this is actually manga canon and novel canon, you name it, etc., which that's all Achi canon, by the way. And they were in the Anbu together. Guy was able to basically work with them for a certain moment, and he goes into the 5th gate, and it even blows away Itachi, and even Itachi's like, wow, he did that all with just taijutsu alone. You know, he's like, what the hell? And so even like Itachi was really impressed, you know, which is, that means something because Itachi's no joke. And Kakashi's like, yeah, save it, they have admiration for later. So, like, we know bare minimum Guy could go either 5th gate or 6th gate, right? Just putting that out there. But that's his overkill.
If you cap him at, like, 4th or 5th, those are just going to be super duper overkill for Zabuza. So, when Sasuke first meets Guy at the start of the Chunin exams, Guy just says that he's Kakashi's rival and that he has a slight edge over him, and Sasuke believes him after seeing his speed. So, again, like I said, in base, it's pretty easy to argue that Guy would be able to beat Zabuza here. And, again, the gates are just, like, super duper above and beyond overkill for the situation. There's no chance whatsoever that Zabuza beats him. The only thing you could say is the hidden mist, maybe, but we talked about that before the video, and I don't think it would matter. In the 4th war, we see Guy just fighting the other 7 swordsmen in the mist anyway, and he's, like, totally fine. So I don't think it would hinder his ability too much.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. And if you kind of want, like, more of a 1-to-1, Guy does just cleanly kick away Kisame. And doesn't really seem that intimidated by him. Kisame consistently stronger than Zabuza, even in like the duration of part 1. So you even have like better showings against a stronger 7 ninja swordsman, a way stronger version, I might add.
Yeah.
Guys also like taijutsu or up close is just such a.
Now, to be fair, you know, Kakashi did also fight against his Kasame with a shadow clone and still made it his water style jutsu. So, but then again, that is irrelevant because they're talking about Rusty Kakashi. So.
Tier above. What
and
Zabuza really will be able to deal with, like, this is the same guy, like, even later on, could just, like, contend with a Mangekyo Sharingan and Rinnegan user and pure taijutsu. Like, if he whips out those nunchucks, it's over. So, like Swag said, like, it's pretty clear-cut that guy should be above Zabuza at this point. Silent killing is really his best asset, but again, like, that happened in the 4 Shinobi War, and Guy's still able to move and fight during that time frame, which kind of, like, mitigates a big portion of Zabuza's advantage. And then, like, basic water style really shouldn't be too much, as Guy could even, like, kick away Gaara's sand that was, like, attacking Gaara or attacking Lee when he was down. Like, he just swats that away. So it's like, you know, Guy is a different breed, even in the duration of part 1. Yeah.
The only question is how many gates he has to open. I would put money on 0, personally. So the next part of the question is how the Haku encounter goes.
And if you don't think 0, even though there's plenty of evidence to prove that it would be 0 gates only, bare fucking minimum, okay, first gate only, and that'd be enough. It's a 5 times multiplier in all your stats. Strength, speed, you name it.
Honestly, Guy could just beat up Zabuza and then deal with Haku himself, but what's probably going to happen, and what would happen if, say, the main characters were Team Guy and not Team Kakashi, is one of them would probably start fighting Haku the same way that Sasuke did and would end up in a similar position where they're surrounded by the ice mirrors. Now, one thing that I would like to clarify that we both agree on, we talked about this before the video as well, is all of these Genin are going to have a much harder time against Haku because Haku met Naruto before fighting him on the bridge and liked Naruto so much that he held back, didn't kill him. It's fairly clear that if he had been going all out from the start that Naruto was just done. He also seemed to respect Sasuke a little bit for personal reasons. You know, like he was, you know, impressed by Sasuke's ability to go toe-to-toe with him, so he didn't just outright kill him right from the beginning. You know, he felt like a similar energy from Sasuke as like the sole survivor of his clan, that type of stuff. So with Neji is pretty similar to Sasuke in some of these respects. He would definitely be able to perform better than Sasuke did, even because, you know, he is stronger than Lee, who was quite a bit stronger than Sasuke was at the start of the Chunin exam, so he would be outperforming Sasuke, so maybe he'd earn some respect for Haku, but I don't think that Haku would keep like slowly chipping away forever, right?
So because what we got to understand, guys, Haku is holding back because he's too kind. That's the problem. Even Zabuza acknowledged that on the bridge, where he's like, "Oh, Haku is too kind. He was holding back, and his heart was crying, having to fight and kill them, whatever." You know what I mean? So like, if it's in character, Haku's gonna still be holding back, but she's not gonna be holding back nowhere as much as she did against Naruto. But like Swag was saying, but she'll hold back to an extent, whatever. And then once she has to get serious, she'll get serious, and they're gonna be fucked. But they're not gonna die because Guy will be able to make it in time and be able to save them. But like, there's just nothing they could do. They would be fucked. Like they'll be able to do decently, and perform decently in a way. Maybe even Lee would actually start going into the gates, to try to like do something because it just gets that die or whatever. But I don't even think it gets that far. Guy basically just deals with Zabuza, beats him up, or basically is probably beating Zabuza up so bad, or is about to kill him immediately, to where Haku has to intervene and use ice mirrors on Guy, and then Guy just goes gates and then just fucking kills them both, right? You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, like, Guy is basically the main reason why they just win this fight, period. But those three are just not really going to be able to do anything, period, so.
The thing is, though, if we assume that Haku doesn't immediately go for the kill, I think that Neji probably has the best matchup against Haku out of any of the other Genin, like, that we're going to talk about throughout this video, except for one.
Yeah.
Because he has the Byakugan, so he can see Haku like at any point whenever he exits the mirrors. He can use rotation to deflect the incoming Senbon. Like that type of stuff, right? He's just really he's built really well for a situation like this.
Well, to be fair, I don't know if Neji can use rotation at that point in time. Maybe he can, maybe. We don't really get any signs of evidence that he could use rotation until he's training with Tenten. You know what I mean? Which that's like after the preliminaries during the beginning of the training exams. You know what I mean? So I'm just putting that out there. It is a possibility that Neji doesn't have rotation just yet. But either way, it doesn't matter. I still agree with them. It's way more favorable for Neji because he has the Byakugan. He can see all around him. It's just going to be way more easier for Neji. You know what I mean? So I do absolutely agree. And he would be able to do way more better than Sasuke.
And so I think that he would be able to survive against Haku if Haku fights the same way he did against Naruto and Sasuke for as long as Guy needed to take care of Zabuza.
Yeah, I overall definitely agree. Neji's definitely the most well-equipped. And this is only like exemplified further if you argue that Lee, right? Because we talked about like Neji going to be inside the ice mirrors, but we were also talking about this before the recording. Like Lee probably won't do what Naruto did and just hop in because it's kind of a dumb move. Like it makes a lot more sense to attack from the outside. Like it was the worst tactical move that actually ended up saving them. Irony, but. It's really interesting because you kind of would have Lee, right? And potentially gated Lee. We don't think he'd go into the 5th gate just because the situation doesn't call for it. Maybe the circumstances aren't that severe, I would argue. There isn't as much on the line.
The thing is, I just don't know if he'd even be able to withstand it for more than like the one attack he threw at Gaara. The 4th gate was already tearing his body to pieces internally. So the 5th gate, like staying in it for an extended period of time might just be, way more than he can handle for anything that's not a finishing blow. So it would probably be the 4th gate at most if he opens the gates. I agree.
Yeah. And then you would have that Lee, potentially 4th gate, attacking these ice mirrors from the outside. Now, we were also talking about this before the recording. The ice mirrors are really weird because it's like they don't really have like any scaling, any durability.
Nothing.
All we really know about them is that Haku's able to hold them together with her chakra after like so Naruto like roars in his QB when the QB's coming out, like the chakra's blowing everywhere and the ice mirrors begin to crack and Haku's actually like they crack and Haku's able to regenerate them with their his chakra. So when you kind of look at it like that, it's like okay, you kind of have to argue like would he just be able to like regenerate the mirrors as Lee's like going at it with the barrage and then like Lee just ends up one-shotting himself because he ended up like ripping all his muscle fibers like using the gates and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's weird, right? So I guess the only way that you could scale, like, you might be able to come up with a way to measure how Lee would perform against these mirrors, and that's to compare Bridge Naruto when he enters his Nine-Tail state to Orange Chakra Naruto from the Chunin exams and his fight with Gaara. I don't know which of them is stronger. I'd probably lean towards the Bridge Naruto, though, is the thing, because like, you know, he has the eyes and the whiskers, and he's like totally feral. He also has the fangs.
Yeah.
So like it seems like he's stronger here than when he's just using a pinch of the Nine Tails chakra against Neji or Gaara. Maybe you'd be able to argue that he's stronger there because he's actually using it on purpose, but I don't know, because it seems like more of a trump card for him too.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and that's contentious. You can argue for either way of which one would be more stronger. You know what I mean? Because at that, like Swag's saying, like Naruto's more enraged. You know, he's like, you know, more mentally amped, whatever. Maybe like a large amount of chakras coming out. Or if you want to argue in favor for this Naruto to be stronger, to where in the data books it does say Naruto master, it's incomplete, but he did master the Nine Tails power, and he's using like a massive amount of it or whatever, you know, and it allows it to be able to allow him to contend against Neji and be equal to a fatigue Neji, you know. So like you have all that, whatever. And not only that, we do know like the more Naruto uses the Nine Tails chakra, the weaker the seal gets. So meaning the more chakra he has access to as well. So arguably meaning that this could either be the same as the bridge or even stronger. Like we just really don't know. We don't have, unfortunately, any quantification value or anything in the data books or anything to show or say which one is actually better at what points in time. But what we do know in the data books, bare minimum, is like he masters the power at this point. Even Hiruzen was in shock and said, like, when did he master the use of Nine Tails chakra? You know, so it's really hard, but you know, it's interesting
to do what he did on the bridge and enter that like zero-tailed form, because he doesn't use the orange chakra against Sasuke, right? But he does go into this form. So I think that this form was stronger, and it was able to bust through the ice mirror, sure, but like orange chakra Naruto was doing more damage to a lot of people. Hate when you say this, right? But it just is what happened. I get that it's kind of weird, but like orange chakra cloak Naruto was damaging like mini Shukaku Gaara, and Gaara's sand armor was enough to shield him. Not the sand shield, but like the armor of sand that he like attached to his body was enough to shield him from taking serious damage from the fourth gate. So I think that the Naruto that started beating Haku up on the bridge was like probably quite a bit stronger than fourth gate Lee would be. So he might not be able to break the mirrors, but then like at the same time, Naruto just shattered them on contact. Like as soon as he punched them, right? They fell all the way apart.
So one thing I will say on that, if you want to go along that line of reasoning, whatever, then that's fine. Then there you go. Like Naruto could be like within that caliber of the gates and whatnot. But what I will say is that the reason why I don't think Naruto's getting to that point yet is we literally see QB Naruto, the same QB Naruto, mind you, on the bridge, the same look and everything, with more chakra, more access, right? Because the seal's getting weaker, whatever. He's enraged. He's also mentally amped, saying, I won't let you take Sasuke, blah, blah. Someone's like 2,000 plus QB fucking clone Narutos with a chakra cloak on top of it, and Kimmaru and Base is able to deal with that. Then Lee comes, Speed Blitz is that base Kimmaru, the one that was doing all that, right? Kimmaru even acknowledges, and the anime says he's stronger than the others, okay? While he's in base, remind you, okay? In the manga, he just says, like, he's better than the others, okay? And, you know, then base Lee, remind you, is able to land multiple blows on Kimmaru. And mind you, he's not even at full power either. He's he's weaker. It's stated verbatim that he's less faster and less sharper than when he fought Gaara at the Chunin exams. Okay, and this is him in base, remind you. And he just got out of surgery. Then Lee goes into the drunken state where basically now he just becomes more unpredictable and his taijutsu is more harder to deal with. And he's still shitting on Kimmaru, to where Kimmaru is forced to go CM1. He even states that verbatim, that his taijutsu is something else. He just has no choice, whatever, blah, blah. And basically then Lee goes to the first gate, and Kimmaru is forced to use the Curse Mark 1 again. So if you connect all the dots, and you have all that line of scaling, okay, that would blatantly show that Naruto is not stronger than Lee. You know what I mean? If you want to play devil's advocate and defend Lee in scaling, into where Lee would be massively still over this Naruto when he's using the gates and whatever you name it, he's way more faster, you know, stronger, etc. So, like, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, you have that into comparison. And then most importantly, when Swag is talking about when he's using the orange chakra or whatever, when he showed all that was just base Naruto. And the reason why Naruto was doing so much damage was because Naruto landed a kunai in the back of Gaara's tail, which is where his weak point is, and that basically took away his whole durability fucking shtick. You know what I mean? Because Gaara's is known to be a fucking tank and have insane durability. You know, that's why Lee wasn't able to do anything. So like when it comes to the whole like Naruto's able to do all that damage. For one, he has 2,000 fucking clones punching his sand. Two, his weak point was just exposed and obliterated to where now he's less tank and durable. And I mean, and that's why all that's just going down. So like, that's not necessarily true. I don't fully agree with that when it comes to what Swag said there. But at the end of the day, that's just one way to analyze it. Whatever. But like I said, it just depends on how you analyze it and how you compare the characters and whatnot, you name it. So, but just kind of putting that out there for any of the Lee fans, right? You know, if you want to argue, I guess for Lee. So.
And even just like his sheer aura was enough to start cracking the mirrors and breaking them. So like maybe Lee could do something about them, but I wouldn't feel confident saying he could for sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And like Haku, even like taking it a step further, on top of Naruto's wounds healing, which, you know, also to bring up because these characters are not like there is gonna be some damage at play. Haku also does tank a lot of these Naruto. Like he gets flailed around a bit. Even Naruto like smacks him point blank in the face. Like, and he's still able to like fight and like zip across the battlefield and intercept Kakashi's Raikiri. So I don't want to say like he's gonna tank like the Gates barrage. That's not what I'm saying. But Haku does display some pretty decent physical dexterity. Like even in the war arc, if you want to go there, he's able to like block Lee's attack. So it's, you know, there is something to derive there as well. But I generally agree. You know, the Nine Tails chakra that
Haku's no joke though. And another thing everybody's gonna forget at this point in time, Haku's also not at full power. You know what I mean? She's very fatigued and nerfed. And she was even able to travel so fast with her ice mirrors to like intercept Kakashi and take the blow and you name it. So like at the end of the day, like she's really, really fast. And if she was like being still serious and basically like, you know, using her full speed, you know what I mean? Like, and basically like being dead serious with it, like mentally, you know, to help or whatever, she actually still technically could have been able to take care of Naruto. But, you know, she only applied that moment to save Zabuza. It was like a one moment. But for the most part, she was just getting beat up, right? And then in the war arc, it's just even, she has the feats to prove that when at full power, she's just no joke. To where, like, she's able to contend against, you know, Lee and Guy during the war arc. She's able to speed blitz Sai while using the ice mirrors, you name it. All this good stuff. So, just kind of putting that out there.
Naruto displayed here. I've always interpreted it as like when the Nine Tails chakra is at too much of a surplus, like that's when Naruto's like physical features start dwarfing and stuff like that. Yeah. And like, you know, the tails start coming out. So the fact that wasn't present in the tuning exams, like you said, I think it's weaker in the sense there's not as much raw chakra, but it could be interpreted as stronger because he has control over it. So I definitely agree. And realistically, like where we're getting at is that Guy probably should be able to finish up with Zabuza. I don't want to say relatively quickly, but he should have a good time. How quickly kind of depends. Like if you want to say he goes like third gate off rip or something like that. But he should be able to finish up. In which case, Neji and Lee should be able to stall Haku for more than enough for a Guy to come in and offer support. In which case, this kind of turns into like Guy plus his 3 Genin versus Haku, which it's not really a fair matchup for Haku. You know what I mean? And you can even argue like if you want to get super out there, right? Like Haku's just remaining in the ice mirror. Guy and Lee can open the gates and just start pummeling the mirrors too if you really want to be out there, which, you know, like that is a little weird to say. But yeah, the bottom line is that Zabuza kind of lacks up a little bit here. Guy's going to be able to go off for support. Guy who should be superior to the Kakashi that Haku is very comparable to. So I think that's our bottom line, in which case it seems like Team Guy does walk away with this with a pretty, I don't want to say confident, but it does seem likely that they take the W here.
I would give them like at worst a B plus or like A minus. I would probably lean towards A plus though for their ability to do this. You know, I would say confident 5 out of 5, maybe 4.5 out of 5 that they take it just because of how much of a monster Guy is.
Yeah.
And because his Genin are like we didn't even have to bring up 10-10. I mean, now, granted, in part 1, she has no feats in the manga because
off-screen by Tamari.
So, I mean, we don't really know what she would do. Maybe she would be in Sakura's position protecting Tazuna, but I mean, I think that Lee and Neji would probably do most of the work.
Yeah.
One thing that we can say that's not really relevant to the fight is that I don't think Zabuza gets his little, I don't know if you'd call it redemption, but he doesn't have his introspection at the end where he kind of like saves his own soul and reevaluates how he feels about Haku, because nobody
just beats him up.
It, like, talks to him the way that Naruto does, right? I think that, you know, the type of person Naruto is and his like yeah, I guess it is charisma just because of how honest he is.
Yeah.
Like, nobody has that. Nobody would be able to get Zabuza to look at Haku and just be like, it was also partially Kakashi, so maybe Guy would be able to talk some sense into him because of how he feels about Lee. I could see that maybe happening, but I'm not sure. I think that Naruto was like really the like missing piece of the puzzle to make that happen in that situation.
Absolutely.
I fully agree. Like the Guy's team has like a real fundamental understanding of how the Shinobi world works. Like Naruto's like an outlier in that universe, like, you know. So that and that's also why like he's such a great MC and like does so well in the series. So yeah, we
better MC than Rock Lee.
Talk about it. It's a little louder for the people in the back. But next, so you know, Team Guy, confident W. Next up, we have Team Asuma. Now, this is very, very.
This is probably the most complicated one in the whole video. So go ahead and, you know, buckle up, right? Because we have a lot of things to talk about. Because both the Haku fight and the Asuma fight are like really. It's unclear what would happen. I think that both of them could go either way, for sure.
Yeah. So, starting off with Asuma, pre-established that he's thought to be, you know, him and Kakashi are very near in strength. He should be very relative.
So that's already a really, really good way to start. I'm glad they're doing that. But then again, like, I'm pretty sure any reasonable Naruto scaler would do this as well. But there's already a good start. Like, it's just stated in the data books like that Asuma is like basically in Kakashi's level in a sense. You know what I mean? So just putting that out there. Yeah, it says right there, however, his true strength is near Kakashi. So it doesn't say equal, but it says it's near him, you know what I mean, right? It's whatever. So you have all that, but...
He should be very comparable and very fine.
Now, the real question is he near Prime Kakashi or Rusty Kakashi? That's the question. I think it would be near Prime Kakashi, but, you know, that's just me personally.
Matchup, I don't think like any character is like too fast for him or anything like that. No, the series makes that very clear. We were like talking about this. Asuma is impressive as well, just due to his performance against Kisame.
And that's another thing too. Like, it's definitely to Prime Kakashi because I'm over here tripping. The feats that he has against Kisame, you name it, to where like literally, you know, like he's able to do good, and even Kakashi Shadow Clone is able to do good against Kisame for a moment, and then Kakashi's able to like basically Kakashi's still shown in the light to be superior than Asuma and Kurenai. You know what I mean? He's like the main crutch to really ensuring their survival, right? But it's beautifully orchestrated and shown blatantly that he's near to that level of power, right? Kakashi's over, but he's near. So that's just all the evidence you need there too. So not only is it stated in the data book, but there's also feats as well to further prove that notion.
Overlook this, but he does kind of have like a back and forth with Kisame where Kisame shreds his arm and then he's able to tag him on or gash the side of his cheek with his chakra blade. So Asuma in close quarters, and even like the Shippuden data books like talk about this, like he's unmatched. Like that's his strongest attribute here, and that's definitely where we see him being the strongest in the matchup. Because ninjutsu wise, he's like he's a little lacking in this match. Do you want to talk about this, like the whole ninjutsu aspect?
Yeah, so it's not that Asuma has bad ninjutsu or anything like that. Like the Burning Ash is really strong, and it's able to like it does a lot of damage to Hidan, which unfortunately, you know, in that situation gets reflected back at him, right? And all three of his they would be tuning at the time, I guess, in the war. All three of his students like do their best to like avoid it. You know, I think this might be Storm only, but I'm pretty sure he just completely like atomizes some Zetsu that Ino takes control of with mind transfer using the Burning Ash jutsu. But again, that might be only in like the Storm QTE. So I don't know, but it's a strong jutsu, right?
Yeah.
The problem is his opponent is a water style user, and he's at a range predominantly fire style based, right? Neither of us could recall any long range wind style jutsu that he uses. So like, I'm not gonna say he doesn't have any, but like we just have to make some up for him to, you know, like be able to use any.
Fair.
So we'll probably just lean towards he doesn't have any. He uses his wind chakra for the chakra blades. And like the other thing about the Ash jutsu is I don't even know if it would work in the mist because like The mist would maybe, I mean, first of all, it would make the air more damp, maybe make the smoke less flammable. It also might make his blades like sticky or wet or something and make it hard for them to like ignite when they slam together, right? Like it might cause, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that the conditions would mess with the viability of the burning ash jutsu. But anyway, like Zabuza could just lob water jutsu at it and be fine.
Yeah.
Like I get that, you know, like if you're strong enough, fire jutsu can just like clash with water jutsu, you know, like elemental advantages don't matter a ton once you're at a certain strength level.
Yeah.
But like, let's be honest here. Like, give Zabuza some respect. He's not that much weaker than Zabuza. If he lobbed a water attack, it would just lose to Zabuza's fire. I think that at best for Zabuza, at best for Asuma, they're clashing.
God, that shit looks so awesome though. Manga and anime.
Water attack is gonna go right through it and hit Asuma right in the face.
Yeah.
And since Zabuza's a mist ninja, and you know, like one of the 7 swordsmen, I think Asuma would know better than to. Like, I just don't even think he's gonna try fire style here. I think he's gonna try to get in close.
Yeah.
And like the issue with that is that Zabuza's an assassin who likes to hide.
Yep.
You know,
Stealth.
using the hidden mist jutsu and silent killing and all that. So I actually think that would be pretty effective against Asuma. Like I have no reason to believe that it wouldn't be effective. You know, Kakashi struggled to find Zabuza inside of the mist.
Yeah.
And he has like a Sharingan.
Yeah.
So Asuma doesn't. I think that I'm kind of leaning towards Zabuza here just because he has this, you know, like it's sort of like a counter pick.
Yeah.
If it was a straightforward fight, Asuma would just beat him up.
Agreed.
But like if Zabuza plays this smart, he can hide from Asuma, sneak up behind him, cut him in half with the Executioner's Blade. If Asuma gets a clean hit or two in, Zabuza's head is off his shoulders and he dies. But I don't know how likely it is for that to happen.
So this is a really, really interesting fight. This is really interesting. And they're just spitting straight facts. They're both being goated right now. So, you know, when it comes to the scaling, we blatantly know Asuma's near Kakashi, right? And it would have to be Prime Kakashi as well. So let's put that out there too. So I just want to kind of put that out there. So what I can say, bare minimum, okay, is there's a couple ways we can analyze this, okay? If we're just saying Asuma's only Rusty Kakashi level, okay, which that's not the case, he'd be to the Prime Kakashi. And we do know Kakashi gets like from Rusty back to his Prime and gets stronger because he even says it verbatim in the rock climbing exercise that, like, you know, he's let his body get so weak, whatever, blah, blah. So we know Asuma should scale to the Prime. And if he scales to Prime, there's technically a data book where it does say Kakashi is like the strongest ninja in his village or whatever you name it. So meaning, like, basically that'd be more than likely implied towards all the joning and whatnot. So if that's the case, and that could, let's be real, you know, because of his intelligence, his analysis abilities, how he strategizes, having the shotgun, all those hacks and components and perks, you name it. So basically, for the most part, if we have all that into consideration, right, and we're comparing Asuma to that level of Kakashi, I do think that this Asuma technically should be able to actually beat up Zabuza. And because the way I see it is Kakashi and Guy, okay, would more than likely now be equal to each other base to base, you know what I mean, once Kakashi's back to his prime. And then, like, if Kakashi's ever, like, you know, using his Raikiri, whether if you think the Raikiri is like a massive amp, and then you can even say now Kakashi's Gates level power. If you don't, and it's just only to complement with what his speed already is, and, you know, and because of the shotgun, he's able to anticipate his opponent's attack and then hit him and whatever. Then, regardless whether if you think he's stronger than Guy in the Gates or not, okay, bottom line is, if Asuma is 2 Prime Kakashi, Asuma should actually just slam Zabuza and win. Because Zabuza was struggling with Rusty Kakashi, who was weaker, right? You just have all that, you name it. And that's just one way to look at it. Or, if you think, basically, Kakashi with, you know... that's another thing. And the reason why I'm saying all this, guys, is because Kakashi and Guy are always to be rivals. Like, there's even data books in part 1 where it says, like, they're basically equal in strength. They're always, you know, on par with each other, whatever, blah, blah. And that's more than likely, all that is more likely being collaborated when it comes to when Kakashi's in his prime and not Rusty. You know what I mean? So if we take that into consideration, okay, Prime Kakashi correlates then to Asuma, whatever you name it. He's near that strength, right? he should definitely be able to beat up Zabuza, getting closer range, whatever. Don't sweat it, Snowhawk. What's it called? I'll make sure to have this public so you can watch it right after I'm done. So I'm gonna be ending the stream soon, but yeah, no, don't worry about it, brother. But anyways, so basically, like, in a nutshell, he should be getting close range, whether if it's, uses ninjutsu, whatever, or that spiritual move that he can use as well in Zabuza. Bottom line is he can figure it out, and if he hits Zabuza's blade, or he hits him in the body, he's fucked. He's cutting through that blade like butter, he's cutting through his body like butter, and Zabuza's dead. You know what I mean? So I do think Zabuza is going to take it still, you know what I mean? And because, like, remember, like, if they said Guy just absolutely slams in base, you know what I mean, and doesn't even have to go gates, and Prime Kakashi would be, basically equal to, you know what I mean, or not equal, but Asuma's near Prime Kakashi, there you go, right? Connect all the dots, Asuma should be able to win, right? So if not, but if you think Asuma is too rusty Kakashi, the one that we see against Zabuza in the beginning of the show, okay, then that's different, because if he's not even equal to that Kakashi, and we see the fight going down, whatever, against Zabuza, it could basically go either way still, potentially, or Zabuza definitely more than likely now takes it possibility-wise, especially like Suikage said, if he strategizes, is intelligent with using the mist technique, he can then get an off-guard opening or hit Asuma, he's not able to react in time or whatever, something, and then bam, he's dead. So, like I said, this can go either way, but it's really interesting, you know what I mean? And that's if it's rusty, you know what I mean? Kakashi that we're comparing Asuma to. It could go either way, but it more than likely would favor Zabuza. And that I would agree with Swag and Thunder God. But if we're comparing him to Prime Kakashi, I don't know about all that. I think he does have the edge on Zabuza. That's just me. But let's see what they further say. Once we get past the Asuma section, then we'll end this video here.
Yeah, Zabuza just has a lot of distinct advantages, and it'd be like different if like maybe Asuma were in like a higher tier, but it's kind of like it's almost.
Hey, I'll say it's a very good debate topic, right?
Stats fight, because like they're at the same level, so it's like
basically
yeah. So it's like it's feasible that Asuma could pull away a W. It's just like not as likely due to all these factors.
Yeah.
Like even if you wanted to argue like what's that, like the welcoming approach like Buddha that he uses against like Kakuzu and Hidan, like he would need to find Zabuza, which is like,
sure.
Again, that kind of goes back to like his initial point. If he gets close or can like really tag him, that's more so the fight, but that's the main issue here. So, with all that in mind, we definitely see Zabuza coming away more likely. Again, it's possible. We just don't see it as likely for these factors. And then we also have...
One thing I can say, if he does have Wind Style, because we know he's a Wind Nature Chakra user, right? And he uses his Wind Nature Chakra into his kunines, and, that's why they're so powerful and whatever. So if he does know that, and it is stated that joining are supposed to have 2 Chakra natures to master... So, like, if he can also use Fire Style and also Wind Style ninjutsu as well, technically he could just blow away the mist. He could just blow it away, and then now he could see Zabuza. That is a potential factor. But then again, it's kind of hard to argue that because we never see Asuma use any Wind Style. So we can't definitively say he does have Wind Style ninjutsu. But I do feel like you can argue the higher possibility of him having Wind Style ninjutsu, because he's a Wind Style type, you know what I mean? You name it, and he applies it to his kunine thing or whatever. So overall, like if he does, and he has a Wind Style, and that is a counter to Zabuza. We literally see that with poison techniques. We've seen that with so many examples in Shippuden Naruto, you name it. So I'm just saying, I mean, if he does have Wind Style, that could definitely push away the mist. You know what I mean? To where you can be able to see whatever, and that could be able to help him give him the Wind Con, or maybe even counter the Jutsu potentially. So you have that, but if that's not the case, then yeah, it still becomes contentious in a way, and especially if we're making Asuma and scaling to Rusty Kakashi.
If you kind of look at this, right, we also have his Genin versus Haku. Now, we definitely see Choji / Shikamaru being the ones fighting. I'll say this, too. I want to throw this in. If one of those two were kind of... I'll put it like this. If Shikamaru were the one to be in the Ice Mirrors, I could definitely see Choji charge it head first to his relationship. Like, I could definitely see
Choji loves Shikamaru so much. He would not let him die. I could see... Like, what I think would probably happen is Shikamaru would engage Haku or the other way around, and then Haku would trap him in the Ice Mirrors, and then Choji would be like, no, Shikamaru, and then Ino would be like, oh my god, fuck. And like she would stay behind with Tazuna because she's like level-headed, right? We're not sticking the girls with guard duty just like because they're girls, and it just happens that that's the way like the team dynamics work, bro. I promise, you know. And it won't be like that the whole time. There are gonna be some teams where that isn't the case, so don't worry. But you know, I think that I actually think it's a compliment to Ino here that she's not the one who runs into the mirrors after, you know, Shikamaru, and that it's actually Choji. But this is where the fight gets really, really interesting and dynamic. So I don't think that Shikamaru or Choji, like by themselves in a regular straight up clash, would impress Haku enough or have that same like type of spiritual or personal like essence, right? Like that, like Neji and Sasuke would, to get Haku to respect them or hold back or anything like that. So Haku might just straight up go for the kill immediately, which would be really bad. And if that happens, then I think that Shikamaru and Choji are cooked. Now, that being said, I think that maybe there's a chance that Haku doesn't do that and kind of chips away at them, like doesn't use all of his chakra right away just to make sure that, you know, Zabuza's okay. And like if Shikamaru and Choji have any opening, everybody knows how smart that Shikamaru is. He comes up with plans in like literally every situation he's in, right? He's face down with like 12 Sound Village Chunin, and he survives until Asuma shows up. So it's a weird situation because the thing is, like, Shikamaru is just so outclassed stats-wise that it's hard to think of.
I have to hit a certain subscriber amount in order to get that future. There's certain things I still have to do. That's the only way. Until I meet those requirements, then I could have a sub button and whatnot. But unfortunately, I don't have that yet. I wish I did. I appreciate that. I really do. Same thing for YouTube, by the way. Like, until I hit 1,000 subs on YouTube, I can't even get subscribers or get any donations and anything like that on my YouTube. Like, the only way I could technically get support from anybody is if, like, I had, like, if I put my Cash App or something, you know, up or something on my socials or whatever. Or if I did, like, the... Like I forgot what it's called, but there's like these fundraiser apps that you have too that you could use. It's like there's like a generic one that everybody fucking uses. I just can't think of it right now, but that's the only way I'd be able to do that. And I've never really done that because I don't want to seem like I'm doing this, you know, for money or anything. You know what I mean? Like I mainly do it because I'm passionate about it and I love it and I want to grow and earn my shit. You know, so I feel like if I were to like try to find other, you know, improvise, right? You know, or other ways to get money, even though I don't have the ability to get money naturally with these platforms. I feel like that would show maybe some negative tendencies or me trying to be greedy or weird. And I don't want to do that, which that's obviously not the case. You know, if anyone's reasonable and normal, they'd be like, oh yeah, cool, whatever, I got you. I'll help you out and support you along the way. But just for, you know, my sanity, you know, so that's why I really never went that full extent. But I appreciate it though, man. Seriously.
Of a way that he would actually be able to hit Haku, but the idea that I came up with when we were talking about this before we started recording is maybe because of they're inside this dome of mirrors, right? And the mirrors reflect light and mirror images of Haku, and that's how Haku is able to jump between them. And the thing is, the mirrors could maybe reflect the shadows on the ground, and Shikamaru might be able to like position them on the ground in a way where the reflection that is like the real Haku, when he starts to jump out of the mirror, gets caught inside of the mirror by shadow possession and is unable to move or something, which I don't know if that's how it would work. I'm just saying that might be something that Shikamaru comes up with. I could see, like, if Kishimoto wrote this fight, that being like, you know, like the crazy ass win con or like draw condition.
Or like Shikamaru like positions him into a certain mirror like he did with Tamari, or like, you know, force, he's like, oh, I was waiting for you to go into that mirror or something like that. Like, so yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I could definitely see something like to that extent. Continue, please.
Yeah, and so the other thing is, you can talk about Choji if you want here. I think Choji might be the MVP of the whole bridge.
Let me talk about Choji. So Choji, I'll start by saying this. We're gonna be a little generous to Choji here. Assuming that he carries those 3 pills that he used against Jirobo on the during the Sasuke retrieval arc, if he has those, that makes this fight very interesting because the green pill. I don't think it would make too much of a difference. It just kind of gives like Choji's burst of energy, allows him to kind of hold base Jirobo and something like that. But I can definitely see a situation where like this might be because Shikamaru's at life's at stake. This could be warranted. In which case, right? We were kind of talking about it. If he tries the yellow pill, what if he expands himself to like that, like not mountain size, but like that giant size that he does against Jirobo and like
where he's covering like the whole forest, right?
It's so crazy. Like what would like if he does that? Like there's really no way to say like Haku would be able to contain him unless you argue like Choji's like fat is like protruding out of like every like crevice in the ice.
Like that. The only way you can argue that this wouldn't work is it's like if like just like there's like weird like fat folds like that are just like protruding outward, but like he would have to get like crushed to death, right? And not but like so what I think is more likely is that either the mirrors would just break, especially because it's not like Choji is growing slowly, it's not like the one girl who eats like the blueberry and Willy Wonka, right? Like it's not like so it's like boom, he turns massive instantly. So I think that like the sudden like the force of him just becoming large so suddenly might like be enough to shatter the mirrors, or if you think the mirrors are just that durable, maybe he like pushes them outward or something, and like he forces them to like by increasing his volume, like forces them to like stick to. But like so the thing with this is regardless, unless he gets crushed to death because the mirrors just don't move, like even if he's like stuck and can't grow.
Well, I'm gonna make a quick point. So in the war arc, Haku's actually able to use the ice mirror, manga and anime, and use it anywhere she wants. She could summon in the fucking sky. I'm not even joking. She could dead ass summon an ice mirror in the sky and go to it and attack people. So like she can do it at any fucking point in time. So she can go wherever she wants. So like like if Choji's doing this move and he was to try to fall on her, she could easily be able to get out of the way. But along with what they're saying, the only win con they have in this fight, and this can go either way, and I do agree with them. It's where if Haku's not impressed or doesn't want to hold back, she just absolutely kills him, right? And they're fucked and they all lose, right? But let's say she's acting in character and holding back, then Haku basically, like if she somehow gets hit by the shadow possession, which if Kishimoto was writing it, it would more than likely happen, right? Especially like what Swag explained, whatever you name it, with the shadows and the mirrors, you name it. If she gets caught in shadow possession and then Choji takes like the pill or whatever and goes to like try to land on her, she's fucked. She's not going to be able to dodge that now. Shikamaru could be able to move like out of the way, you know what I mean, and whatnot, while he slams and land right on her, and he's fine, but she gets fucked. And then, I'll be honest, like, do you think Haku's taking a hit from like that? Like we do know Jonin and Kage level ninja can apply chakra to their body to increase their durability. We've seen it with Kakashi and Guy. We've seen it with Pain with the Biju Bomb. You know what I mean? All that good stuff. We've even seen it with Orochimaru against Four Tails. So you can increase her durability. So you can still technically argue that she could just increase her durability and tank the blow as well, or like right when Shikamaru jumps out of the way and releases the shadow, she reacts fast enough, is able to use like her ice, and it's like do a bunch of spikes and impale Choji and kill him. So like this isn't necessarily an immediate win con. It's a potential win con. What would be probably more beneficial is if Choji went the red pill, but that's not in character. He'll always do the other pills until he's forced to go red pill. So basically what happened, if this isn't enough to beat her, okay, which it more likely wouldn't, I don't think it would work, Choji would go red pill and he'd be forced. And basically it would just kind of come to a situation where, do you think Choji can be able to replicate what Kyuubi Naruto did to her? I don't know. I don't know if Choji can be able to do that. It's really interesting because we know he gets like 100 times stronger, but it's all that is really contentious, and we don't have any quantifications of anything. We just kind of see what he can do against Shirobo and whatnot. We do know like he'd be stronger than all the base getting, obviously, like base Naruto, base Kiba, Shikamaru and whatnot. That's a given. But for him to be stronger than Kyuubi Naruto, I don't know about that one. So like that's where it gets interesting. But let's hear them out, see what furthermore they have to say, and then we'll be concluding this video because they're almost done with the Asuma portion. So yeah.
Anymore, The bottom line is that he's filling up the entire space, or the mirrors are breaking, which means that Haku can't use the jutsu effectively anymore. Haku can't jump between mirrors if Choji fills up like the entire ice mirrors.
Yeah.
You know, he would probably have to like tell Shikamaru to like jump in his shirt or something.
Yeah.
But,
Pop in my pocket, bro.
Like aside from that, you know, like maybe he just like gulps up Shikamaru's like hard in my mouth or something like that. But like if he uses the expansion jutsu, something's happening that's stopping those mirrors from being functional.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like the
that's another thing. Even if he stops the mirrors too, and that's if you know whether if it could break or not. The problem with that though is like even if that's the case, Haku could just resummon the mirrors. Like so, I don't understand why they're tripping so heavy on that. But I get what they're saying though.
That's interesting, and you can take this if you want. Is the red pill, which is like that 100 times boost is crazy.
Oh my god, dude! This is crazy. Like this is essentially like what Choji achieves in the war arc. You know, basically trading caloric intake for you know, chakra. He gets like the 100 times multiplier. Butterfly wings. He's like clapping up version 2 Jirobo, and this is crazy for a couple of reasons because you know you kind of have to like discuss like Choji versus that Naruto. But like, and the byproduct of this is you have to ask yourself, is that like not KCM, like QB Cloak Zero Naruto, is that 100 times amp? I would say probably not. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think.
And the other thing too is it's like, don't ask whether or not, you know, like, oh, but you know, Naruto might be stronger in base than come on, bro, like be serious. Naruto's base stats at this point are terrible. His only usable asset in combat is just making a bunch of him and like just trying to throw like just, you know, like whack uncoordinated punches at people until he gets better. So Naruto's base stats are terrible, and he goes from like not being able to do anything, being a non-factor in the fight that Sasuke has to jump in and nearly die to save, to just dogging on Haku and like winning in a one-sided stomp. So I think that Choji should be
not even that. Like Naruto and base, you know what I mean? And what like Naruto and Kiba were getting bullied by base Jirobo, and Choji was like reacting to base Jirobo's attack, whatever. And then you have all that. You name it. So even like the Naruto during the retrieval arc in base is not even like, you know what I mean? Like. I'm just being real. Even that Naruto is like not even like crazy, you know, way more stronger than Choji, whatever. Like, so if Choji takes that red pill and has 100 times multiplier, bro, you know what I mean? Like, he would even shit on that base Naruto. I'm just saying.
Heritable to him, equal to, if
like,
not.
Bro, I'm gonna be real with you guys. Red pill Choji shits on a lot of fucking people. I'm not joking. He shits on Sasuke. He shits on Naruto. He shits on all of them, bro. That motherfucker crazy.
Stronger than Naruto. So if you don't think that the QB mode, whatever, it's not like a cloak, but you guys know what we mean, right? Like the QB mode that Naruto goes into, if you don't think that it's a 100 times boost, which would be crazy if it was, right, then Choji would probably win, and by a bigger margin too, if his butterfly mode lasts for as long as Naruto's Nine Tails mode does, which I don't know if it would. It's unclear. So maybe Haku would be able to live, because Haku was taking like full power, like rage hits from, like, Naruto was trying to kill Haku, and Haku was living these attacks. So like maybe he'd be able to outlast and then, you know, go help Asuma. Like Choji's performance here, I think, like if Shikamaru's shadow possession reflection thing doesn't work, is what's going to determine the outcome of this. You know?
I entirely agree. And there is a factor to this, to where like, okay, like you could also like look at it like, how willing is Choji to use some of these? Because like it might actually just destroy the bridge as well. Like the bridge they're trying to protect, and the bridge like being built is like the hope and salvation of the place like they're trying to defend. So there is a level to this where like, okay, you know, would he even do this? But because we were talking about like, would Choji just slam his fist down on the bridge, or what would he do? You know,
like a shockwave blows.
Well, that doesn't matter. Like they could always fix the bridge or repair it. That's not a big deal.
Mirrors would be so cool.
On his Tsunade shit, like just destroying everything. So we don't see that happening, but I think pretty much clear cut we could see is like he should be able to just shatter all the mirrors with this power. And something I will say too is like he's not gonna get the same benefit Naruto did with the QB coming out, that being his wounds being regenerative. So it's like you could also make a case like he also wouldn't just be able to last that long, like just like you said. So
yeah,
we you know this
absolutely it's very short. It's for literally a brief moment. It's super short. Naruto can be in his QB way more longer. Not even a discussion. So yeah, that is a problem. So if Haku's able to outlast and survive long enough, you know what I mean, then she's good, right? But if not, and she does get one tap, then she's dead, you know?
This one is really split. Like this is probably one of the most like the matchups like we're pretty much split on, just because Asuma versus Zabuza is kind of a split. And if like I guess you could say we're being kind of charitable to Choji, but if you did take our charity and we gave him those
100 times,
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's like there's definitely a little.
She's going Super Saiyan 2, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, the theme music kicked in, bro. This is like not an insignificant feat. So you know if you gotta go off that, you could maybe apply Choji. But there's there's just a lot of ways this could go. So we're kind of split on this one. Do you lean towards either direction, or are you kind of like?
So the way that we've talked about it so far is this is probably the only situation where this is the case, but I think it's a Haku dies and Zabuza lives situation, right? Where like Choji pops the red pill and like kills Haku, and then runs out of time and collapses from exhaustion from the red pill, and then it's like Shikamaru and Ino have to figure out a way to outsmart Zabuza after he like cuts down Asuma. Like maybe Asuma takes it, right? But I don't know. I think that you can pretty safely give it to the kids over Haku, just because like we have a pretty similar like dynamic here between like Choji and Shikamaru. They're like really tight best friends, and Choji has a secret massive power up his sleeve that's going to be like time limited. So I think that he'll be able to take Haku out, but Zabuza has a couple of advantages that put him over Asuma, where like Asuma won't be able to do Zabuza the way Kakashi did and just like beat him up and embarrass him, right? I think it's more likely that Asuma loses, but I could be wrong about that, because like TG said earlier, he does like just show up and kind of put the hands on Kisame. So like I don't know if he would have won a full fight. Is the thing. He probably wouldn't have, but like Asuma's not bad. I just think that Zabuza has like the tools in his arsenal, he's just a perfect counter.
I agree.
He's a perfect
I
counter.
lean towards Zabuza as well. Like just for everything you said, it's like they're close enough. It's like the matchup. I definitely think he takes it. So, I honestly like that's the Asuma versus like Team Asuma one. That one's a little crazy. Definitely a little crazy.
It's the most wild one for sure.
We're wilding out right now. So
the grade is weird because like the kids take out Haku, but like the team ultimately loses. So I don't want to give them an F because they put up a good fight, and Asuma could squeeze out a W against Zabuza. That's really all that needs to happen for this to be a total success. So I would go like C-, maybe C, maybe C+ if I'm feeling really generous, but I'd probably lean like C-.
So what I will say on this too, which also makes this further weird and contentious, I forgot to throw this in here. It depends what versions we're obviously talking about too, because like when they're over here talking about Shikamaru and shit, like they're talking about like the feats and everything that he's pulling off when it's during the tuning exams, and I'm just being real with you. But Shikamaru gets way stronger from during the Forest of Death into the final tuning exams. You know what I mean? To the point where he's able to react and deal with Tamari's speed and attacks, you name it. And then like to where against the Sound 4, basically he was like when he was going against like the Sound people, he was able to react to whatever you name it, catch him in shadow possession. He was basically on par with like Weighted Lee, right? And things like that. But then when he gets to the final tuning exams, he's actually surpassing Weighted Lee because he's able to be basically react and be faster than Tamari. And Tamari was able to react to Weighted Lee, you know what I mean, and whatnot. And she said, you're not fast enough or whatever. So like basically what we're getting in a nutshell is Weighted Lee, was like basically, giving them a run for their money too. And once he used the first gate, he was able to immediately just no diff one of them, but they got saved. Shikamaru with Choji and Ino was able to hold him off to an extent. And mind you, they're also fatigued, not at full power at this point too, because they're constantly having to fight more and more people. But because they were having to fight Sakura, and then they were having to fight Rock Lee, and then they come along. You know what I mean? So overall, you have all that too. But regardless, okay, like I'm just putting that out there. It depends what Shikamaru you're really talking about, because if we're talking about like the Shikamaru that is in the beginning. The only feats he has is against the Sound Girl and against the Sound Ninja, and that don't really like give a lot. You know what I mean? Like it really doesn't give that much. Like in a way it does. Like because if you like analyze Dozu, you know what I mean? Like Dozu was basically able to, you know what I mean? Like basically deal with Rock Lee after he did the gates, or like he was at least equal to Weighted Lee. You know, so you have that too. But like it's just I don't know. It's really interesting. But like I said, this whole fight is just really contentious. It's really interesting, very weird. You know, and like I said, you know, like either Team Asuma just loses and gets massacred. That's just the easiest first way to go about it, right? Or two, especially if Asuma is scaling near Prime Kakashi instead of Rusty Kakashi, he should actually be able to beat up Zabuza with no problems, especially with their whole scaling and analysis with Guy in comparison. And so, you know, you have that. So like to where if Zabuza gets dealt with, now it's Asuma against Haku and Choji and Shikamaru and Ino. And if Haku gets serious or whatever and he's bloodlusted after Zabuza died, they all actually probably even still lose. You know what I mean? Because like him using the ice mirrors and maybe, you know, killing them or whatever. You know, or like they can more likely pull the W. It's a really interesting fight. It's very interesting. When it comes to the whole Shikamaru and Choji situation, obviously, like they said, if she's not holding back, they die. That's no brainer, right? If she is holding back, okay, then, you know, maybe somehow Shikamaru could catch in a style of possession and get a win con off that, or a draw, bare minimum, to last long enough, you know. Or Choji, like, if it worst comes to push the shove or whatever, nothing's working, he has to go to Red Pill, that'll more than likely be able to get the W. Or it won't, and she was able to outlast him long enough, and then like he runs out before you can do anything, and that's it, right? But it's really tricky. It's really tricky. The Asuma team, that's a really fucking tricky one. Really tricky. So we'll kind of just leave that there for the sake of this video. This is gonna be for part 1, so we're at the 32-minute mark. It's not too bad. We're already halfway. So we'll more than likely just do like one more part, and then, you know, worst case scenario would be like 2 more parts, but I think only 1 more part would be enough to cover this video. And we'll be done. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. Comment your thoughts down below. Subscribe for more content. Subscribe, you guys, to the channel. Let me know what you think with it when it comes to this fight. You know what I mean? You guys, what's it called? You guys will either see my video on what if like the Konoha Getting squads fought Zabuza and Haku. Because I'm not going to do all the Getting squads. I will do like the Sand Getting squad and the Sound Getting squad in a separate video. But this way the video is not so long. But for the Konoha, I'm going to do my own video on that. So whether if that is posted after or before this reaction video, whichever one you're going to see, I don't know, but we'll see. But I'm just kind of putting that out there because I already had my own takes and my own personal beliefs when it comes to you know, the Konoha Getting squads against Zabuza and Haku, you know. So just kind of putting that out there. But we'll leave it here. As always, guys, Been out. Peace. All right, guys. So what we're going to do, it's already 4 in the morning. So I'm going to cut the stream. I'm going to end it here, try to get some rest and whatnot. But I hope you all enjoyed the stream and everything. And the stream is about like 5 hours long. So we were going for a good bit, you know. We did some YouTube reactions, played some Dead Island 2. We did the Kakazu versus Kakashi video. We did a lot of cool stuff, you know what I mean? So this stream will be public as well right after I end the stream. I'll make sure to publish it this way, you guys. If you want to check it out right away, you can watch it, whatever. And then once everything's edited, obviously, eventually it'll all be uploaded on my YouTube. The Kakashi versus Kakazu video, that is going to be edited by someone as well, by the way, so it will be completely different when it's released on my YouTube. Obviously, the audio will be the same, but, you know what I mean, how it looks and presented, etc., the visuals, you name it, it's going to be more professional. It's going to kind of be similar to the One Tail Naruto video that I had, and basically it just kind of be like that, so it will be, there'll be more to it, basically. You know what I mean? It'll be different. It's not going to be what you're seeing on my stream. So keep that in mind, too. So this way, when you guys watch that video, it'll be way more enjoyable and pretty cool to watch. But yeah, so that's going to be it for the most part. But as always, guys, I've been out. Peace.